First World War reenactors parade through the streets of Meaux only one weekend each year in early September. But Meaux, 35 miles east of Paris along a loop in the Marne River, is the permanent home to one of France's major World War I museums, the Musée de la Grande Guerre, the Museum of the Great War. I'll have the museum's director tell you about it in just a minute. But let's first watch the parade go by. Oh, it's a delightful parade, starting at the covered food market and ending just past the medieval cathedral. There's then a solemn moment when the reenactors gather in front of the town's war memorial for the laying of wreaths and the playing of La Sonnerie aux Morts, France's bugle call for military funerals and memorial ceremonies. All then gather around for a family photo before heading to their respective camps at the Museum of the Great War. That's where I met Audrey Shea, the museum's director.
Hello, welcome to the Museum of the Great War in Meaux. My name is Audrey, I'm the director, and I'm very happy to welcome you in this fantastic museum about the First World War. This museum is really unique because it really talks about every aspect of the war. It's a museum on history, of course, but it's also a museum on society, how society was during the war, how it was when the war started and how it was when the war ended. We also mention all the different nationalities: French, German, British, American, Russian. Lots of nationalities here are represented. We are not a museum that only focuses on French, the French aspect of the war. So this museum is 3,000 square meters of collection. We have a collection of 70,000 objects and documents. If you come and see us, you will see the 6,000 objects which are on display all around me. And here I am standing in front of a beautiful display on Americans in the Great War. All you can see behind me is objects and documents related to the entrance of the Americans in war and also on the way they fought. They were trained and fought during the war in France in the First World War. So it's really easy to come here when you are in Paris. It's on the train, it's a really fast ride, and also if you can drive from Paris on the way to Bellewood, for instance. So we are looking forward to welcoming you here. We have about 100,000 visitors a year, so I really hope you'll be one of them soon.
It's a terrific, informative museum at any time of year, an easy day trip from Paris, as Audrey just said. But if you visit over reenactment weekend in early September, you'll have the opportunity to meet reenactors and to share in their camaraderie and their passion for the historical period from 1914 to 1918 and its uniforms and paraphernalia and ways of life. Though most come from Meaux and the surrounding region, they represent various nationalities and actors in wartime. Germans, Russians, French, colonial forces, British, Irish fighting the Germans while calling for independence back home, Anzacs, Canadians, Italians, American doughboys, a taxi driver delivering troops to the Battle of the Marne, ladies of the Red Cross, wounded soldiers playing cricket or being cared for, a charitable woman sewing cocards, more Americans, a Frenchman with a carrier pigeon, and this curious couple met on the way out.
Oh,